What's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. I know. Y'all thought I wasn't going to show up today, didn't you? What I tell y'all, I'm committed to showing up. I'm committed to being here. And y'all know what it is. We're in the brand new suite. I had an appointment this morning that I had to go to, so wasn't able to do it this morning, but I promise y'all I am going to be in the house sometime during the day if I don't come on my regular time at 9 a.m. To give you insight, wisdom, and some strategies that you can use to unleash your entrepreneurial excellence and your leadership excellence here in 2024. So that's what I'm here to do. We're going to be real quick. I'm not going to be long today. So I know I always say that, but we're not going to be long today. It's going to be the short version of it. But y'all know what we've been doing. It is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Talk to Me Tuesday. So we got to do it. We got to tell the truth. We got to talk to you Tuesday. But what we've been focusing on, or what we're focusing on this week, are the brand new. We're going to be talking about 5 21st century leadership skills to influence and to change culture. If you're looking to be an entrepreneur that has influence and change the culture. Y'all know around here, it's the brand new culture. What is it? The brand new culture. And the brand new culture for us here is to enlighten, empower, impact. Those 3 things. That's how we influence the culture. That's how we change the culture, because we're going to teach you something. We're going to impact you with something, and then we're going to teach you something, equip you with something, and then impact you to want to do something. That's what it's all about. That's what we do here at JNF Enterprise. This is what we do with Brand U. This is how we positively impact by using that culture to be able to use in our entrepreneurial briefcase. It's all about being able to do those things with the entrepreneurial briefcase. It uses you to be able to reclaim your time, to be able to give you the tools you need, to equip you with the knowledge that you need, and give you the ability to be able to impact and influence the culture that you want to be able to impact. So let's hop right into this. Yesterday we talked about, what did we talk about yesterday? We talked about adaptability, being able to adapt to the different changes in the market, different changes in the industry that you are a part of. All of those things, you have to be adaptable. You have to be aware, and you have to be adaptable and willing to change, shift, move in other directions in order to be able to be successful, in order to be able to influence and to change the culture. So that was yesterday. Today, we're going to talk about having emotional intelligence, having what is called your EQ, your emotional quotient, the emotional intelligence. You got to have emotional intelligence if you're going to be an effective leader, if you're going to influence, and if you're going to be able to change the culture. So let's talk about this real quick. What is emotional intelligence? Well, understanding and managing your own emotions is part of it, but it also involves you being empathetic with others or to others in what they are going through. So it's understanding your emotions, controlling your emotions, but it's also being empathetic to others and their emotions. And here's what happens. And especially you want to be able to understand others' emotions when it comes to critical or crucial, situations, when it comes to my situations. That's what a leader does. A leader is able to not only control their emotions, but they also are empathetic to others' emotions. And they're able to do an assessment of that in such a way that they know how to handle those situations. So a lot of people, a lot of leaders, a lot of entrepreneurs that do not have or even familiar with EQ, with their emotional intelligence. But here's what you have to do with the high IQ. With the high IQ, It helps you to be able to build strong relationships, helps you to be able to foster a positive work environment, and it allows you to effectively manage conflict. Those are the three major things that I'll hit real quick. This trait is essential for inspiring and motivating teams. Part of your team concept should be not only in the development of your EQ, but it should be in the development of other EQ. Good morning, Ms. Smith. Thank you. Thank you for joining. So let's talk about these. Let's talk about these three real quick. I want to talk about your being able to, the EQ from a help you be able to build strong relationships. When you have a high EQ, not IQ, when you have an high EQ, you're able to build stronger relationships. Why? Because of what I just told you. Having the ability to be able to control your emotions, but also being empathetic to others' emotions, where you're not allowing your emotions to overtake you, and you have the ability to be able to ensure that that you have control of the situation, and the situation doesn't get out of hand. We've seen it a number of times where people allow their emotions to be able to get the best of them. And here's an example. I know everybody's probably seen it now, but the situation that happened in Congress the other day, where you had two supposed to be grown individuals that are supposed to be a reflection of our government. These two people are representing our government, but they acted like sixth graders. To me, that's a lack of EQ. That's a lack of emotional intelligence. And yeah, I get it. It's a laughable moment for some people. I didn't think it was fun. It was funny, but at the same time, it's sad. It was sad, but it was funny, because in both instances, neither one of them operated with emotional intelligence. Neither one of them had control of their emotions, and neither one of them was empathetic to the other's emotions. The other one I can understand, one or the other. But that's a perfect example of EQ, emotional intelligence. And when you can walk in high EQ, you can develop stronger relationships where things like that won't occur, because there's a mutual respect for each other. You've got to have a mutual respect for each other. If you don't, that's just not gonna happen. So that's the first thing. We talked about having this strong relationship. Second is you want to foster a positive work environment. This fosters. Can you and I've said this even with my book that I wrote. The customer's not always right. The second theme that I wanted the reader to come away with was, the first theme. I'm sorry. The first thing that I wanted was to understand the importance of a healthy work environment. If there's not a healthy work environment, and that's you as a leader, you're the one who is responsible for controlling that, for creating that. Creating a healthy work environment. Do you, and that's your homework. I want you to think about that today. I want you to think, do you create a healthy work environment? When people are around you that has to do with work, are you creating, or have you created a work environment, a healthy work environment? Is the environment that you created in such a way that people do not feel like it is toxic, or that they cannot stand to come to work? Again, I will use the example of our government officials working in a unhealthy work environment. That is a unhealthy work environment. I don't care what anybody says. That is not a healthy work environment. It is a toxic work environment. You can't tell me that the individuals there enjoy going to work. And I'm not even talking about the congressmen and congresswomen. I'm talking about those that work for them. What kind of work environment is that to have to be a part of the go-to? And I've been there. I know I've had, what's up, E? What's up, Dr. E? I've been in a work environment that was so unhealthy. I literally hated waking up to go to work in the morning. That's how bad it was for me. So you cannot have a unhealthy work environment and expect people to be to maximize their productivity, to operate in emotional intelligence. It will rip them up from the inside out. So it's your responsibility as a leader to create a healthy work environment. Take a look at your environment this week as you make your moves and as you moving around, as you're doing certain meetings and you're doing certain encounters with people that you're meeting with, that you're doing your networking, you're doing your business, handling your business. Ask yourself, what kind of environment am I creating as a leader? Am I operating with emotional intelligence? Am I using my EQ to create a healthy work environment for me, for those that work for me, for those that I'm working with? And am I creating an environment that those that I serve would want to come into? Can you imagine who wants to have to go before our government, our Congress, senators, with that kind of environment? Who would want to? To me, it's an embarrassment where you can see that they're not operating with emotional intelligence. So that's number 2. So we've got to build strong relationships. We've got to be able to foster positive work environments. And here, the last one that we'll talk about, and effectively manage conflict. Woo! This is, I'm getting this, but that example that I've been talking about, this is the example for all 3. To effectively manage conflict. That did not happen. That goes to show you that our Congress is not operating with emotional intelligence. They probably can't even spell it with the EQ. They are not operating with EQ. They're not operating with their own control of their emotions, and they for sure aren't empathetic to the emotions of others. I can't think of the guy's name that is the head of that committee, did nothing to manage that conflict that was there. So I can see that he did not operate with emotional intelligence. Don't be that kind of leader, if you will. Be the kind of leader that understands conflict and is not afraid to confront conflict and say, you know what? No, we're not having this today. This will not happen while we are here. We are adults. We will operate with emotional intelligence. We will use our adult minds and conduct whatever business it is that we need to conduct here today. That's what emotional intelligence does, y'all. I'm just sitting here thinking about that, and it is the opposite of everything that we just talked about here, or it's the example of how we need to operate versus how we've seen some people operate without emotional intelligence. So take a look at yourself today, this week, as you're going about your business, as you are handling your business, as you're going to meetings, or as you're meeting with potential clients, as you're dealing with those that work for you, as you're dealing with those that work with you, and even as you're dealing with those that you serve, are you operating with emotional intelligence? I want you to check your EQ today. What level is your EQ at today? On a scale of 1 to 10, or let's use 5. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. What's your EQ? What level are you operating with your EQ? I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that today, y'all. I told you I wasn't going to be long today. I was not going to be long today. But I had to come on and talk about this EQ, talking about emotional intelligence. Because if you're going to be a 21st century leader, a skill set that you must have and that you must operate in is with emotional intelligence. I want you to cultivate that strong, that strong relationship. I want you to be able to foster a positive work environment, and I want you to be able to effectively manage conflict, because that's what emotionally intelligent leaders, entrepreneurs do. And when you operate in that, you not only influence, but you also change the culture. We need a change in our government culture. We need a change in our social culture. And I know for me, I'm going to do my best to be a part of that influence and to be a part of that change and to be able to talk about things that need to be changed and need to be dealt with, but doing it from an emotional intelligence perspective. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. Y'all know what we do. This is what we do. Hit me up. I know that if you want to be able to go into further detail, like, hey, Dr. Leroy, I'm not sure how to write down and deal with this emotional intelligence thing. Hit me up. We'll talk about this, and we'll talk about it through the entrepreneurial briefcase perspective, because these are the things that we include in there so that you can be a better entrepreneur, be a better leader, and you'll be able to understand better how to use emotional intelligence when it comes to your time, when it comes to dealing with conflict, when it comes to building relationships. All of those things we want you to be packed in there. So I'll have the link where you can connect with me as far as a consultation, or you can hit me in my DM as well. Connect with me whichever way that is more convenient for you. Let's have a conversation so that we can get you in position to unleash your entrepreneurial excellence through entrepreneurial intelligence. Check your EQ. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.